Hello, welcome to the Movie Castle. I'm your host Cooper. Today we're going to be talking all things comic books. I have a list of the 2026 comic book projects coming out, and we're going to rank them by how excited I am about their release and whether or not I'll be watching them. Probably a video I should have done back in January, but it's alright. Here we are, late March of 2026. I got live action movies here, I got TV shows that are live action, then cartoon sort of TV shows, as you can see here. I kind of think that 2026 is a make or break year for superhero content, but more specifically Marvel. Well, we'll see. I think how things perform this year will say a lot about Marvel. I feel like every 2 years I'm like, oh, this is the make or break year for superhero content. But this year, I really mean it. So we're just going to get straight into this. There will be no Wonder Man in this video. It already came out. I like it a lot. It's probably my favorite Marvel show. One of the best things they've done in a long time and maybe ever. I'm a big fan of it. My co-host is a big fan of it. We recommend it if you haven't checked it out. Please do. I know that it's kind of seems like it's flown a little under the radar because it's kind of different from what we normally expect from Marvel. It's a direction I would love to see them explore just like a little bit more. Like I don't know, I just find it kind of more interesting than something like an Agatha All Along or a Echo type of show. Just something that feels more grounded and more like lived in than most Marvel shows, in my opinion. And I was listening to some podcasts with the creator of the show, kind of talking about one of the writers of the show, and it seems like there was just genuine excitement about this project and the team that got to work on it. And I think that if we can keep production teams happy, then the projects will also come out a little bit better. That's kind of just makes sense to me. So I would love to see them kind of explore more things that are grounded and about things that feel more real. I love Wonder Man. Check out Wonder Man. Number 13, we got Vision Quest. Does anybody care about Vision Quest? Like, real question. I don't hear anybody talk about Vision Quest. This is the final like show, I feel like, to come out of the era where Marvel was like seemed like they wanted to do like 6 shows a year and 4 movies a year, you know. This feels like just the last chapter of that, and it seems like they're probably just gonna try to pump it out. I'm glad that this era of Marvel doing this sort of thing is over. It wasn't good, and I don't really know if anybody thinks it's that good. I'm curious about its stance on AI. So the last time we saw Vision in a Marvel project was WandaVision, which was 5 years ago at this point, which is kind of crazy to say, but that was pre-ChatGPT and pre-OpenAI and all that stuff. So I'm curious about where this will fall on artificial intelligence with Vision being AI pretty much. And I know Ultron's maybe going to be in this. I don't know. Regardless, I'm probably not going to watch this show. I don't really care. If this gets rave reviews the way that Wonder Man kind of got from a lot of the people I pay attention to on the internet, maybe I'll check it out. But otherwise, I'm going to skip this one the way I've skipped the past several Marvel TV shows. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Season 2. I didn't watch the first season. I didn't really care for the look and feel of the first season. I saw the first 2 episodes. Wasn't really my thing. Just not the type of cartoon that I'm interested in at this point in time. But that said, some of the promos for this, the trailers, have looked a little interesting. So if it gets good reviews and people seem to really like it, maybe I'll binge through the first season to see if the second season's pretty good. I don't know, but probably going to skip this one too, if I'm going to be honest with you. Spider-Noir. Seems like a cool project, just not something I'm like all that interested in. I'm glad that it exists. This sat in production hell for a long time, and I didn't think it was going to happen, but it is happening, so that's exciting. I like the black and white thing they're doing, where they have like one release, I believe, that's in black and white, and another one that's going to be in color. Don't know why you'd want to watch it in color since it's noir, but whatever. I think it's a cool thing that they're doing. Again, I think I would like this. I like noir and I like Spider-Man, but again, this just isn't something that I'm too eager to spend time with. There's other shows that I'm prioritizing over something like this. Again, I don't know, has Nick Cage done TV like this before? I don't feel like he has, but that's pretty cool. So I'm glad that this exists. It's just not something that I think I care too much about. This comes out pretty soon, I believe, late May. So I don't know. Yeah, we'll see about this one. We'll see. That's what I'll say. All right, next up we got the Punisher special presentation. Don't really care for the Punisher. Not a character that I like that much, if I'm going to be honest. I'm curious about how it'll tie into the larger Marvel narrative right now with like the street level stuff and like Daredevil and Spider-Man. I don't know how much it'll tie into Spider-Man, but maybe Daredevil. I'm not sure. I'm interested in that. This is I believe R-rated, right? This has to be R-rated. It's Punisher. How graphic will it be? because they're not. This isn't the Netflix. I mean, I don't know if this is made by the Netflix crew, but we're not in that era anymore. So I'm curious about how gnarly this will be when compared to some of the other stuff they've done. Like, will this be super graphic for a Disney Plus show? I would hope so. I think that'd be cool. I'll probably watch it since it's just a special presentation. It's not going to be very long, probably 40 minutes. So I can, that's fine by me. I haven't seen the Netflix show that they did with Punisher, but I do like Jon Bernthal's performance as Punisher. I think he's pretty good. So I'll check it out. It's just not something that I'm super excited about because I don't really like this character too much. Daredevil Born Again Season 2. I was really stoked for the last season. I was kind of let down by it. It's okay. I would still rather watch the first season more than most Marvel TV shows, but I think it was a bit clunky with the two different creative teams working on it. There are things that worked, things that didn't work. That said, I do think this will be better than the first season. It's the Netflix team, I believe, that is now taking over, so it should be better. There's every reason in the world that this should be a better season than the first one. So I would say I'm excited for this. This comes out, I believe, in like a week, maybe. Does this come out next week? I think this comes out next week. That's cool. I'm also curious about how this will tie into the larger narrative. I noticed something with the Spider-Man trailer that he gets the key to the city, and Kingpin is not mayor, because I believe the mayor. Does the mayor give the key to the city to Spider-Man? Correct me if I'm wrong. Like, that's the mayor's job, right? They give the key to the city to somebody. That's what the mayor does, and it's not Kingpin. So does the Brand New Day trailer spoil this Daredevil season? I don't know. I'm curious though. I'm curious about how this will, again, similar to the Punisher thing, tie into the larger Marvel narrative. I think some Defender characters are returning. I think Jessica Jones is in this, which is cool. I like her. And then, I'm excited to see what they do with Kingpin as mayor. It's cool. Again, this isn't like my biggest priority, but I'm gonna watch this when it comes out in like a week. So, Supergirl, our first, I think, DC project of the list. There seems to be a general muted excitement around this. Like, I don't know how much people care about Supergirl. I was pretty excited for this, and I've kind of dwindled on it a little bit. There's no official trailer yet, which is interesting. We got the teaser back in December, I think, and no official trailer yet. And we've got some like little TV spot clips, but that is interesting. We'll probably get one soon. I hope it doesn't come out while I'm like editing this. That would not look great, but loosely adapted from the comic. I'm curious about what they mean by that, because I know Lobo's in this. Lobo's not in the comic. I'm just curious. I'm curious about how much of a fateful adaptation this will be. There's definitely, I know that people love Woman of Tomorrow, the comic book, and it is good. But I do think there are things that could be a little better about it. You could expand upon that villain, but I've heard that the villain in this is not great from early test screenings. So that's not ideal. I would love if this movie is a hit and people like it and it makes a ton of money. That would be great. We'll see though. I'm interested in how this plays out with people, and especially since like the internet hates female superheroes. I'm very curious about how this is going to play out for this movie. But again, I hope the excitement like goes up for this for me and everyone else. We got Lanterns teaser trailer. I've always said on the podcast that I don't like to base things too much off a teaser trailer, and that is what a lot of people are doing with Lanterns, calling it dead in the water type of thing. I don't think that's good. That said, it is a little concerning, and I do understand a lot of the issues that people are having with this teaser trailer. It does feel different than the rest of the DC projects right now, which is a cool thing. I do like that. It could be a good thing for this. We'll see. I like that James Gunn is letting people have kind of their own creative vision, and you can see that here. This does look and feel different than Superman, which is cool, but I do hope that this has some of the sci-fi stuff that I think we all want out of a Lantern show. I'm excited to have both these characters in a TV show together. I'm a big fan of the Green Lantern characters, so this is exciting. I do think it is exciting that even if the show totally sucks, that we get these characters in some capacity. It will be strange, though, if they keep it completely grounded. I don't know. I understand if that's the story you want to tell, but I think regardless of how great this show is, if this ends up being like a masterpiece, which I doubt it will be, but like it would be strange to not have it, to just have it stay grounded. That is odd, and I think that would disappoint a lot of people, even if it is like a really great TV show. So we'll see about Lanterns. We got Clayface. How weird will this be? What will the body horror be like? That is my big question, and that will probably determine a lot of how I feel about this movie. because I want something weird and I want something nasty and gross because I love body horror, and I would love to see a superhero body horror movie. We don't really get stuff like that very often, so that has me very excited for this. I feel like there has to be a lot of confidence in this script for them to like green light their third movie in their franchise as a Clayface movie. Like this script has to be like great, right? Like, you guys get what I mean, you know? Again, we don't have a trailer or first look for this yet. I believe this comes out in October, so I imagine we'll be getting a trailer next month. They tend to do, DC I've noticed tends to do like 6 months before their project releases. We get a teaser trailer. So hopefully we get a teaser for this soon and we can get a better look at what this project will be like. I'm curious about what this version of Gotham will look like. Will this be how Gotham is going to look and feel in future DC projects, or will it be exclusive to this? I'm just very curious about that. Maybe it won't even take place in Gotham. I don't know. I'm fascinated by Clayface and its existence, and I hope it's like a really rad movie. All right, we got Doomsday. Now, I don't know if I'm all that excited for Doomsday, truth be told. I'm fascinated by Doomsday, but like I don't know. I'm very weird on Doomsday. I don't know what it is. Like, I think I have a lot of questions about how this is going to work and how this is going to play out. Again, as I mentioned, it's more of a fascination than excitement. I just need to know what this mess is and if it's going to work or not. I am excited for this December 18th release date. I think it is cool that this is coming out the same day as Dune. I don't really love to like pin movies together, but I wouldn't say that's what I'm doing here, but I think this will be a fun like moment in pop culture to have Dune and Dune 3 and Doomsday come out the same day. That's cool. That's cool. Again, I think the Barbenheimer phenomenon's all right. It's a cool fun thing that happened a couple years ago, but this is an exciting thing that's happening this winter. So I'm curious. I'm very curious about how this will play out. How will this movie end? Now that is a big question I have because this is kind of a two-parter with Secret Wars being the second part. I'm curious, will this do the Infinity War like bleak ending? And that doesn't seem like the right move to make, in my opinion at least, because you're just like retreading the same thing you already did. I'm very curious about how this movie is going to end and whether or not it'll be dark and a cliffhanger like the way that Infinity War to Endgame was. The Boys season 5. All right, I love this show. I've been a fan of this show for a while. I'm not tired of it the way that everyone else is, but I am excited to see it come to an end. It has run its course. I'm not gonna lie. Season 4 was just a lot of setup. It felt like a lot of moving chess pieces around and not a lot of players being taken off the field, if you know what I mean. How gnarly will the season be? There's been a lot of complaints since maybe season 3 and definitely season 4 that it's just shock value. I'm not quite there with that argument, but I'm curious if this will fall into that same trap of just being gross for the sake of being gross. I don't mind that, but some people seem to have an issue with that. So I'm curious about how gross it'll be. I just wanted to shout out my boy Anthony Starr. I think this is one of the great villain performances of our time. Really, really special thing that he is doing as Homelander, and I will miss this performance and having a new performance from him every couple years because I think he's killing it, and I think he's very scary. Who's making it out of this alive? You know, is Homelander gonna die? Is Butcher gonna die? How about Jack Quaid? I don't know. I'm very curious about who's making it out of this alive. I haven't read the comics, so I don't really know, but I'm excited to see that. So Boys season 5 also comes out pretty soon, like a week or two. So speaking of a show that's out right now, Invincible season 4. Now this just came out today. The first 3 episodes. I haven't seen them yet, but I probably will have by the time I get to editing this video this weekend. I guess maybe I'll let you know my thoughts. Anyways, I think season 3 rocked. I think it's maybe the second best season. I don't know. How will the animation be this season? That's been one of the big complaints about the show, is the animation's never super great. That said, it is exciting that we do get a new season of this every year. As of lately, we have been, at least since 2024, we get a new season. The animation does suffer because of that, I think, but I think it's cool. I think it is cool that this is a continuous thing and we don't have to wait a couple years for a new season. And then I'm curious about how Mark's character will be this season as well. I think they're going down an interesting path with him. Also, I haven't read the comic for this either, just because I don't really want the show spoiled. So I'll read it one day probably, but that might not be till the show's done. But I'm very excited to see what they do with the characters and with this world. I'm very invested in it. It's one of my favorite things, and I look forward to it every year. Number 2, we got X-Men 97 season 2. I think this is one of the best Marvel projects to date for a kids cartoon. I love how like dark and mature this is. I hope this season continues it. I don't know if there's a new creative team. I think I heard there's a new creative team, but I didn't do a ton of research for this video. So I do hope it keeps that kind of darker tone, because that first season has characters getting killed off and is about genocide. I think this has like a mid to late 2026 release date. I don't know. We haven't seen too much about this, and I assume it's coming out this year. I hope it is. I'm very excited, and I love how this show looked. I think of the recent Marvel shows that have tried to have a more comic book style, this is the one that captures it the best, even more so than the Spider-Man show that I talked about earlier and like the What If Marvel Zombies stuff. I think this looks great, and I love how bright and colorful it is, and how classic it feels while also still feeling kind of modern and new. I'm very excited for this. I hope it's great, and I hope it comes out this year. Finally, we got Brand New Day. The entire reason I'm making this video, this trailer came out this morning. I've seen it a few times. It's cool to see Spider-Man suffering. That's what we all want, right? There seems to be like genuine hype around this movie. I mean, this trailer just came out today, and I haven't seen too much about it. I mean, I've seen a lot about it, but like it hasn't. I don't know if it's really like settled in the mindset of the people. But there's genuine hype around this, and I haven't seen a ton of people like upset. I mean, there's like criticisms towards the trailer, and I get that. I don't think some of the shots look great, but I don't know. Like this feels different than a Supergirl or even Doomsday, where it feels very like divisive and we're not sure about it. And people do seem really excited about this, and this does feel like late 2010s Marvel to me and people's excitement. So like I haven't seen anybody who's like super negative on the trailer. Again, it came out today. I don't really know. I'm sure there's naysayers out there, but I do think people are very excited about this, and that's awesome to see. I trust Destin Daniel Cretton. I really like Shang-Chi. That's one of the better Phase 4 movies. And then Wonder Man, which I talked about earlier, I think is really great and has a great sense of style. And I hope that tracks into this Spider-Man movie. I really hope so. I am worried that it will be a little overstuffed. There's a lot of characters and a lot that seems to be happening just based off this little teaser trailer. So that is a concern of mine, but who knows, maybe they'll be able to handle it just fine. Hope you enjoyed listening to me ramble. Again, another sort of off-the-cuff video. Feel free to subscribe to us here on YouTube or listen to us on Spotify and Apple Music. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good rest of your day.